That does not taste good.
That's really thin.
It's really thin, but also like it kind of, it's a little bleachy. I don't know. I don't like it, which sucks because I was looking forward to this one. Hi, I'm Alex Gondzioulis and I work at Bulletin Place, and this is our fermentation station. I got into fermentation before I actually moved to Bulletin Place. I mostly was interested just because I'd seen other bars and bartenders around the industry doing so. I had no idea what I was doing though. So moving to Bulletin just over 2 years ago now gave us the opportunity, gave me the opportunity, the chance to actually create and have the space to do so, have the freedom to do so, and most importantly, that give us the chance to actually get stuff wrong and make products that maybe were more of a learning experience rather than something that we necessarily were going to put across the bar. Definitely Evan, who was managing at the time, helped a lot. You walk upstairs, he's got like a stick of butter and he's going to try aging it or fermenting it, or he's going to try lacto-fermenting some fruit that we've bought too much of. I suppose it speaks a lot to the philosophy of the bar as well. Bulletin always ran a menu that was daily, and it was always based around whatever came from the farmer's market. So we would always have really fresh and generally really good quality produce in the bar all the time. So it kind of lent itself to fermentation, preservation, pickling, all that kind of stuff, purely because we had the space and the actual fruit there all the time, which was intrinsic to the way that the bar operated and our offering for drinks. I think moving to Bulletin Place got me into fermentation properly and gave me the skills to do so. That said though, there's been a lot of failures and learning experiences on the way. For my philosophy as a bartender, I think I'm still figuring that out in terms of what drinks mean to me, or my approach to drinks. I think that when we look at fermentation for drinks, you can't force it into a drink just because you want it. So a big thing that we're trained at the bar to do is, just because you made an ingredient or that you've really had this one like crazy idea that you've been fixated on for a week, if it doesn't work, it can't happen. So fermentation for my drinks philosophy, it needs to make sense. It needs to not just be technique for technique's sake, and more importantly, like people actually would want to drink it. I think it was something Evan said, is like, we are from the school of drinks you actually want to drink. Guests that walk in through the bar that have no idea what those techniques are should have an idea of what they're ordering or what it's going to taste like. It shouldn't be so esoteric or from left field that it's going to alienate people. The big thing that pushed my home brewing and fermenting for the bar, kind of accelerated the whole process, was the COVID shutdown. Basically, I had 3 months, loads of time, nothing to do. So I started looking up home brewers on YouTube and stuff online, read some books, Noma Fermentation Guide, all that kind of stuff. Through the sheer necessity of wanting to create something, that's what I decided to do. So I learnt the process a lot more, kind of understood it much better, and then from here on, I have started going crazy, essentially, with the homemade wines. This one is a mango, it's called bland. It's a mead that's using whey instead of water for the majority of the must. Just contributes a lot of protein and then also a lot of texture. And then hit it with mangoes. Mead is it's a fermented beverage made from honey as the primary sugar source. So a simple one would just be honey, water, and then you can add yeast, and that's it. This one is sitting on bergamot skins. It has a bit of bergamot juice in there too. A malolactic pear wine. So I'm using a yeast that converts malic acid to lactic acid, kind of like what you'd see in like a Chardonnay. And it's, yeah, just fresh pear juice, some of the malolactic culture and some sugar. We'll see it, we'll try it. and see how it goes. I'm not sure. This one, strawberry, using a gamay yeast. So strawberries, sugar, water, yeast. Strawberry's been a bit of a fruit I've had very little success with. It's either tasted a bit like acetone or it's stalled. And so far it has fermented, but it doesn't look like it's clearing particularly well, so we'll see. Yeast is like a gamay. Try and pull out some tannin. Basic process for wines would be, well, if you've got a fruit that's sweet enough, you just juice the fruit, add yeast to it, let it go, basically. Generally go through some kind of process of killing off wild yeast, using like a Camden tablet. Relying on wild yeast can be pretty difficult sometimes. You get a lot of weird flavors, sometimes off flavors, and you can't always guarantee that you're gonna get X amount of percentage of alcohol out of your final product. Tamarillo wine. The Tamarillo is like a little red bulbous fruit that tastes kind of like a passion fruit, guava and pineapple all in one. So yeah, did a little one with champagne yeast. I've got banana, trying to ferment a little lower in alcohol, and then the saison yeast gives off a lot of those like farmhouse ale reductive kind of flavors, which I think pairs well with the banana. So here's a weird one. A fortified Koji wine. So this one's a bit complicated. It's taking Koji rice, so rice inoculated with spores. You add it to water and then leave it in a water bath for 8 hours. Turns all the starches that's in the rice into sugars that can then be fermented. Then fermenting that liquid into what is essentially called an amazake. And then I've cut the amazake with Talisker 10-year-old whiskey. It's smoky, it's pretty umami, it's pretty weird. It might not taste great now, it might, we'll see. Peach Mistel. So Mistel is a French style of aperitif, usually used for grapes or for apples. Essentially you ferment quite a low alcohol wine using a particular fruit, so we use peaches. And then you cut it with a spirit either infused or made from the same fruit. We have 3 vinegars that are all in various stages of being done. Maybe I accidentally made too much wine, so the excess I just leave in an open jar, which hopefully let some acetobacter in there, which will convert all the alcohol in the wine into acetic acid. It's like a 6-month process for vinegar, so we're not really going to get much out of these, so they're probably just going to stay up here for the time being. A little passion fruit vinegar. We use the pulp and the juice for the most part in cocktails. We had some left over, along with a bunch of wine that we couldn't sell because it was starting to turn into vinegar essentially. Combine the two together, let it sit in an open jar like you saw before. I think it was 2 months. And we ended up with this white wine vinegar that's got a lot of passion fruit kind of flavor to it. Mulberry wine. This was my first one that I actually bottled. So this guy's still quite sweet, and you can tell that it's been made from mulberries, but it's got a really nice tannin to it because I left all the stems and seeds in there for the fermentation. So this guy, which is my first post-COVID wine, which is an apple wine. So use 3 different types of apples, chamomile tea, bit of sugar, fermented with champagne yeast. This one is one I'm probably most proud of. It was a passion fruit mead. So I hopped it as well. So I added a little bit of Galaxy hops to it, which is the hops that you'd usually see in a IPA. Organic leatherwood honey, I think it was 10 kilos worth of passion fruits with the husks on as well. Fermented out to about 14%, but this one's delicious. You're on Atlanta.
Hi, my name's Atlanta. I work at Bulletin Place. I've been working here for maybe 18 months now. Is that all I say? Sorry. So the first mead that I did was this boy here, just basic store-bought honey. From there, I let it sort of sit for a couple of months and then back sweetened it with an orange blossom honey that I got from Canberra. Yeah, it's really yummy. It tastes basically like a Ramos Fizz. The honey tastes like that, so I thought it'd be nice to implement it into this mead. And the second one is with raw honey. And I haven't really done anything to this one. It's kind of just the honey and it's been sitting for a bit. Gonz threw in some fig leaves that we got off Josh Reynolds, who works at the Dolphin. I have to stabilize this one as well so it stops fermenting, so it doesn't explode in a bottle. Be sure to only have 15 mils of each so we don't get drunk. I keep forgetting that these have like
These
an ABV.
these are boozy. Try my first homebrew. This would be great. This would be great with hot pot. And we had a bottle of it at 16%. And I told them all after we'd started drinking it, it's at 16%, and then we were like, ooh. This is Tamarillo wine.
It's like savory. It's like cherry tomatoes. It's sweet.
Tomato leaf.
Yeah.
Cherry. Well, there's cherry as well.
It's like very umami driven. I feel like that smells like what umami tastes like.
But it's like super tannic on the palate. Like, it's chalky.
It's just got heaps of like tannin, but then it just drops off.
Yeah. I reckon stirred drinks with like whiskey.
This would be a great vermouth.
Yeah, like a vermouth base.
Yeah. This with tonic. This was soda.
Yeah. Fortify that with like a grappa or something, and then loads of botanicals, and then that'd be vermouth, potentially, or an aperitivo. You could do an amaro even if you wanted to.
Yeah.
It's gonna get real weird. I reckon that one's a success.
Oh, yum. Yum.
So, oh wow, that smells way better than I thought it was going to.
Kind of smells like a toilet.
Like a toilet.
I think this was the one that I talked about, where it was like, it kind of smells like the boys' toilets.
Like here, or?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. It smells like the boys' toilets.
Like the.
This is a pear. This is a pear wine, by the way. Meant to be like Chardonnay style.
It kind of smells like a very skinsy contact wine, like a Trebbiano or something that's super sticky and grippy.
Yeah, Trebbiano for sure.
But usually on the first, like, there's a lot of aromatics. So on the first whiff, it's kind of like. Ugh.
It was all I don't get boys' toilet, to be fair.
I get like a little bit of urine, like just a little bit. Like
it's like the last slice of pear you eat before you have your fruit salad.
Yeah, like a mushy pear.
Yeah. It smells so good, and then you get that. I think this one might just be
a vinegar.
No, down the sink, maybe. It happens. Oh well. The idea was there. Down the sink, that one. It smells so, like, if you smell that, I reckon that smells great, but it tastes like fucking shit.
Okay.
Strawberry wine.
Yes.
It smells yeasty.
I mean, it smells like strawberries.
It smells like strawberries, but it doesn't taste like.
It smells like strawberries, like salty strawberries.
It's strawberries without. It tastes like strawberries without sugar as well. So it's dry. It's got a little rosé kind of thing going on.
Yeah. But there's no back palate. Just goes.
No, I reckon it needs a little bit after it's stabilized, a little bit of sugar, just to like put it back up, and then spritzes.
Yeah, on the front of this it's great.
All
I would just
fizzy.
drink this like chill to the bone. It just needs more structure in the back.
Mm-hmm.
But on the front, it's like clearly like strawberries, acidity, like
Cool.
very lemony.
Alrighty. Banana wine. It's like pretty farmhousey, but you can smell like green banana skin, I reckon. Which
Definitely helps it.
Wasn't expecting. Yeah, the saison definitely helps.
Oh.
It's at 15. Body's good. Like it's thicker than I thought it was going to be.
I did not expect that.
I reckon that could go even maybe a little bit sweeter. Stir that with like an old fashioned or something.
Yeah.
Rum old fashioned. Yeah.
It almost smells floral, and then you taste it, and it's just so condensed. It almost tastes chalky.
But yeah.
Yeah, that with rum and a stir drink would be delicious.
Fucking A. Mulberry wine. This is the first wine I ever actually,
It smells like maraschino cherries.
That's it, really.
That's all it smells like. But that's not bad.
No.
It smells delicious. It smells full. It smells like it has a little bit of structure to it. Like, kind of smells like a Pinot Noir, but without like the tannin or the like acidity, I guess.
It's sweeter than you expect it to be. There is residual sugar in there.
That is like an Amontillado, if it was like...
Reckon?
Yeah, it's kind of lean, but it could be like in between an Oloroso and a Amontillado.
I really wonder what ABV it's at, but I didn't check. I remember Evan coming in and being like, what's the gravity on it? I'm like, what's gravity? Like, what is that? That with a bit of cognac.
Yeah.
I'm happy with that, which I wasn't expecting to be at all.
It'd be really good with like desserts.
Yeah.
Yeah. Straight up. Just having a little sherry glass. Actually, I don't know, maybe with a bit of soda or tonic? As if it was like Chambord.
Not enough sugar to get away with that.
Really? What about
maybe Fortified would
what about
help.
with orange juice?
Oh, no. No. Yum. Cool. All right. First ISO wine. Jazz, Granny Smith, and Royal Gala. And then there was a bit of chamomile tea in there too. And a bit of sugar.
Yeah, it smells like apple pie.
Body's good. It's got this kind of like steely, like wet metal thing going on, and I don't know how I feel about it. I reckon it's developed, mellowed out over time. Yeah, this one's good. I reckon maybe not quite in the place of vermouth. You could probably use it in like a shake and drink with instead of sherry, maybe. As long as it's bright, anything fizzy. Yum. Happy with that one.
Yes, this is a orange blossom honey mead.
Yeah,
It just
you can
smells
smell-
like orange blossom honey.
It's got like a little orange blossom water,
Yeah,
bit of that Capilano honey that we all know, like the mixed blossom kind of honey smell.
yeah. There isn't really much
Smells great.
else going on.
Because you've got such a blank slate, you could add flavour to it, or you
Yeah.
could just leave it as is and then add it to drinks that where you want a little bit of honey influence without it being like, here's 20 mils of honey syrup, you know?
Could you use this in a spritz, or would it still be too high in sugar? Even in a highball or
You
something.
could definitely use it in the spritz.
Yeah.
I don't think it'll foam up as much as honey does either.
Yeah.
That with some whiskey, like Scotch whiskey,
Yeah.
chamomile tea.
Like a whiskey highball or something.
Yeah, delicious. This one's really good. Why do I sound surprised? I'm not filled with confidence.
This is the raw honey mead, which has then had fig leaves infused into it.
10
Whoa!
days.
It like
It's fig
took
leaf.
over that.
Yeah. Like big fig leaf, green
It smells like
coconut.
sultanas.
Sultanas for sure. It's still super
Yeah,
cloudy.
raisins. Like, fuck. All right.
And nothing on the palate. It's really thin
Yeah, it's like
and quite bitter.
yeah.
I think I maybe screwed your meat up for you.
Thanks.
Sorry.
Even the aftertaste is kind of like biscuity and like.
Yeah.
I mean, it hasn't been stabilized, but like I don't
Why
know if
is
that
it-
would affect it.
Why is it biscuity? I'm not sure about that one.
Monchino.
Oh yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, like a weird nocino
Yeah.
inspired thing because it's got all those that nutty raisininess to it. That could be cool.
Yeah.
I'm skeptical though. I'm skeptical. Just based on the body. The body of it's like, it smells awesome and then the palate's just like, there's nothing there.
Well, what was that?
Mine. So this is it's called Mango Bland. But this, you're going to be biased to this anyway because you don't like mango.
I can be unbiased,
It smells like mango. It smells like mango skin.
but it kind of smells like nail polish.
I don't get that at all.
What does that smell like? Plastic. It smells like plastic.
It's got a lot more acidity than I was expecting. Like it smells like this like sweet mango wheat bar, creamy, and it's not really on the palate at all.
I think it's okay.
Yeah.
I think there's like acidity, but then as I swallow it, like the aromatics, like I can
Wash
still
over.
taste it now. Like I can still breathe it in and out.
It's still quite creamy though.
It is. I don't think it's bad.
I think it needs a little bit of sweetener, probably orange blossom honey.
This with tequila would be good.
Tequila. Yeah. Yum.
Even with maybe like a food pairing or something. If you were to like,
A little sorbet with
Yeah.
a bit of that drizzled over it.
yeah,
Something like
yum.
that.
I think people would froth on that.
Yeah. Cool. Oh, this is our Bergamot Mead. Yeah,
It's so floral.
you're getting the fresh fruit flavor as opposed to like
Yeah.
whatever's fermented out. It's got a bit of acidity. I reckon it's got maybe a little bit too much.
Yeah.
And it just needs a little
a
back
bit bitter.
sweeten. I didn't really take the pith off.
Oh, really?
So I
Okay.
wanted to give a bit of bitterness. That's pretty much done, I reckon. There's enough sugar there too. I'm
Yeah,
happy
it's
with
really
that
good.
one. Cool.
I think that's my favorite.
This one doesn't have anything cool on it. So this is the second thing I've bottled, little passion fruit mead.
It's got like
Skins and-
vegetal notes to it.
All I really smell is hops and the leatherwood honey.
Kind of like capsicum, like green
Yep.
capsicum.
It was delicious.
Tastes like a sour beer.
So yeah, it's got a little bit of that. I mean, you could just drink it cold like we are right now and be fine.
You could put that in a spritz. You could, drink it on its own with a bit of ice. Even a little bit of tonic.
This one's got a lot of versatility, I think. Yeah.
What if you did that in like an Americano or something?
Oh yeah, Rome with a view.
Yeah,
Yeah, dry vermouth, Campari, sugar, lime, topped with soda or beer.
Yeah.
It'd be delicious. This instead of the dry vermouth.
Yeah. Oh, it smells like candy.
Hopefully it tastes good.
It smells like peach leaves.
So this
Smells
is
like amaretto.
Yeah, peach mistel using pretty much the whole peach leaves, giving that kind of amaretto-y smell that you get.
That's what I imagine a peach smells like in an anime movie. You know how everything's just so aesthetically like pretty.
Yeah.
There isn't any like acidity or anything. There's a little bit of soda. This with just on the rocks.
This with Amaro Montenegro
Yeah, yum.
would be great. Gin, any clear spirit. It'd be good with whiskey too and bourbon. Cool. Delicious. So Fortified Koji wine.
You can smell exactly what's in it, you know? Like
Yeah.
you said that there was Talisker in there, the Koji.
It's got a Vegemite smell. I smell Vegemite.
It even has that taste. It's like yeasty, it's
Which-
a little bit salty.
Sweetness is good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like it's super balanced.
Mm.
But would you use this in like penicillin, maybe?
Yeah, you could if you want to do like a lower alcohol penicillin. I've done stirred drinks with it.
Tom Collins?
Yeah.
think
I've done
this
some
would be really
I've done
good.
some like old fashions and stuff. I think it'd be alright with bananas. It's cool.
But it's still
better.
good.
It's still
just-
better than I
yeah.
thought it was going to be because I remember tasting this a while ago and being like, bleh.
Yeah. No.
Yeah, it's great. Cool. Okay. Passion fruit vinegar.
It smells kind of creamy.
Creamy. It smells like a beer to me. It smells like an IPA.
Tastes like a passion fruit shrub, but on the nose it's like, I get kind of like vanilla cream
Mm-hmm.
and passion fruit. Kind of yogurty. Actually, it has the aftertaste of what yogurt has, which is like dry but still
Like a lactic acid.
like a film.
thing.
Yeah, like a film on your tongue.
Yep. A highball or something. You'd add a little bit just to lift.
Mm.
Or you could do like a stirred drink. I reckon like a white Negroni with a bit of that would be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd add it more as an accent and less as like the ingredient. So I'm going to use the apple wine that I made in ISO to kind of do a take on a drink that Chris Moore from Coupette in London was famous for. He did a drink called Apples. And it was really simple. It was just Calvados topped up with clarified and carbonated apple juice. So I figured let's do 3 different ways apples can come to us in the bar to create a drink that is essentially a very similar serve. Just a little bit of verjuice for acidity, instead of lemon or lime. Got the apple wine. It's like really, in the tasting, we thought it was quite fresh and bright, so we did 45 mils of the apple wine. Base is Chateau de Breuil Calvados. Calvados obviously being like a brandy made from apples. Kind of wanted to just stick with the theme of using products made almost exclusively from apples. And the Calvados has got that lovely kind of aromatics that that the style is known for. It's going to help lift the whole drink. And then the last thing is, this is a Granny Smith apple soda that we've made. So we make like a cordial from Granny Smith apple juice that's clarified. Add a little bit more water and some sugar and acid, and then just carbonate the whole thing in our rig. Then just gotta ice it up. So the carbonation will help lift all the aromatics from the Calvados as well as the wine that we made. And then going with the theme apple garnish. So a take on Chris Moore's apples. Funky apples. I wonder if this tastes good. Well, that's fucking banging. Yeah, try it.
So I'm going to be making a 50-50 gin martini with Beefeater, London Dry Gin, Belshazzar, dry vermouth, and the passion fruit vinegar as well. Alrighty. So I'm going to do 35 of the gin, 35 Belshazzar dry vermouth. It's got a lot of stone fruit qualities to it, but also stuff like dill comes through, tarragon, so a little bit of anise, which I think will go well with passion fruit as well. Good.
You know what, man? You actually can make a drink. We've known that for a while. How is it? Do you like it? Yeah.
It's so clean.